manufacturer's view of what makes a review positive is not the same as perhaps the reviewers or the average reader's idea of what's a positive review. Their idea, quite often, this is, if you like, a stereotype, is that all positives and nothing negative, an unequivocal rave, and that's what they're looking for, and very, very seldom get. And so for some manufacturers to say, none of those, this review is no good to me because I can't sell on it because it points out some negatives, and but that's the way we do it, and so don't let the chips fall where they may.
I think that there's a fact that you people have a choice. You might find something or get something and you choose not to, and you have that option of just saying, I can't do this, and I want to send it back, or you can return it, and you have freedom of choice, freedom of will, and I don't think the average person really realizes that.
Okay, well, the point for those who might not have heard is that we have freedom of choice. If we try something and don't like it, we can send it back. We don't do that. The system we operate under is that once we get something for review, there's no going back on that. The review appears. We don't quietly return something and say, oh, I'm really sorry that this would get a bad review, so we'll send it back to the manufacturers. We actually, once we get to the point of committing to a review, we will publish the review. And as Bob said, even if it was something we thought we liked at a show or at a dealer showroom, it turned out not to be what we had wanted, we will still publish a review with those caveats. There are other magazines which do that, that they ask for products for review, and if it's going to get a negative review, they don't publish a review and they send it back. I think that is the wrong side of the line. I think what we do is the right side of the line. That's what divides Stereophile from, Stereo Review, because Larry Kleinman, who was there for many years, their technical editor, at a public lecture like this, said that was our policy. We don't like it, we won't review it. And I'm going, oh my God, he just admitted to having gone over to the dark side in public. So we have a choice up to the point where we embark on a review and then the review gets published. And that's for 10% of reviews with Stereophile which are not positive. Yes, sir?
Just something I've been curious about. Are the reviewers on staff, do they get paid by review? How does it work? Because everybody who reviews for Stereophile is an employee of Stereophile, or you get paid by the reviews?
There are only 3 full-time editorial employees of Stereophile: Stephen, myself, and Robert Baird, the music editor. Everybody else is a contractor. And they are paid either a set amount per month or per review. And Robert, any comment?
Yeah, I guess it just varies. For a person, I write for a living. Stereophile is not the only magazine I write for, but it's the magazine for which I do most of my writing. Yeah, that's right. That's Million Morning magazine. I used to write an English magazine.
American.
Yeah, but I won't even do that anymore because the English magazine was a dreadful experience, full of great pain. But I make a living as a contract employee, and there's a fixed amount that I get for my column every month, and other pieces carry different fees.
I don't pay my writers by the word because I believe that encourages them to write too long. And given the fact that some of them, Michael Brown, who write great long reviews without getting paid any more for it, just leads me to believe that paying by the word would be the wrong thing to do. Can I ask what triggered the question?
Well, I used to wonder if I might be able to make a living at it. No.
Yes.
How do you get into it?
It's really easy to be an audio writer. You have to have something to say and to be able to say it. It's all you need to be able to do. When I say easy, of course, I mean, it's really hard to do both those things. And I was very lucky to have a mentor who helped me learn how to listen. When I joined Hi-Fi News in 1976, I basically kept my ears open and my mouth shut for 4 years, listening to other people and learning how to be an editor. eventually how to be an audio writer. But those are the two things you need, to have something to say and to be able to say it. And it's really hard to be able to do that right from the get-go. And I've been courting Art Dudley for years, as I said earlier, when the opportunity came for him to finally write for Stereophile, which was his true vocation, and he didn't know it for all those years.
Find out. Yeah, that's actually so. I almost became a writer for you back in the 1988, right after I left the Absolute, not too long after I left the Absolute Sound. And then I went back to college and taught school for a while, and then got back into writing. But I'm very blessed because I've had a tremendous amount of good luck to, find myself in the company of John Atkinson. And even my first audio writing job, I had worked at a magazine for a while, and I was at a dinner party and I met a guy named Gary Pearson, and he had just lost his managing editor, and I had just left my job. So it was just as simple as that, just not work. But,
I've discovered a lot of writers in my career. I discovered Ken Kessler in the UK, I discovered Corey Greenberg in the US, and right now I am really proud of myself for having discovered Stephen Mejias. And I didn't do it because I wanted a new writer. I hired Stephen as an editorial assistant back in 2000 when we moved to New York. And after 5 years of working as the editorial assistant, Stephen suddenly decided he could be an audio writer. And so I take the credit for that.
Yeah, so it's not easy. It's not easy to get noticed by John. He has to know you very well and trust you, trust your ears, and know that you're a music lover. All those things are very important.
Something that is not realized probably amongst the readership is that I listen to all my writers. And they have to do it. Basically, even if I pop round for an evening and say, hey, Art, I'm going to be in the area, how about we do dinner and we can listen to some speakers? Art may not have realized it when I visited him last August, but he was doing a test, because he's doing a show and tell. He had the Harvard speakers in, he had the audio note speakers in, and I put round and I said, let's listen to that, and Art said, listen, I got some 78s you got to hear. This Louis Armstrong is just, knockout. And then I've got some, Django Reinhardt, Hot Club of 5, which you probably never heard on 78. But at the same time, I'm listening with Art, and I'm listening to him describe what he is described, what we're listening to, and I'm comparing what he's describing with my own experience and seeing where it matches up. And to me, that's what editors do. And the writers for Stereophile continually demonstrate to me that what they describe, I can hear, and if I can hear it, then so should you guys. Of course, then you have to make your own minds up about whether that matters, as we discussed earlier. But that's what editors are supposed to do, which is to be the first line of defense for you guys against them going crazy, or them not being skilled, or them not being able to say what they want to say, or not being able to listen. And without wanting to name names, I look at reviews on the internet, and I'm thinking, my goodness, what is this man listening to? Where is he coming from? Is he deaf? Did he even get the product out of the box? And for traditional magazines, to go back to someone else's question earlier about, with the newspapers dying, is there still a role for magazines? I think yes, because we take what we do more seriously, and we try harder, and we try to put in controls so that what you read is as close as we possibly can get to being a real description of what's going on with products. And that doesn't happen many places else right now. It will, I'm sure, but not right now. I think the lights have come up means that we have to bring this to an end. So I'd like to thank everybody for listening, and I hope you all have a great show.